sometimes you get blasted with the gift of prophecy, and sometimes you also realize that you don't really want to know what the future is. You don't want to be able to predict what the future is going to hold. And what I'm talking about today is about 3 or 4 days ago, I made a video talking about Alyssa Liu's win in ice skating and, her gold medal win, and how I was kind of concerned that the wrong people would celebrate her victory. People who just are absolutely terrible human beings who would hate Alyssa Liu as an actual person, but take her win as like a way to just fly the stars and stripes blindly and hate on just a bunch of random groups that like have nothing to do with this entire win. And even though I was correctly predicting that people would do this and that like a bunch of losers would, take this angle of like trying to say that, oh, Alyssa Liu is a real American, a blue-blooded American patriot. She bleeds the red, white, and blue, and she holds up, all these non-woke values. I actually underestimated the extent in which they would go to, kind of make their own headcanon for what Alyssa Liu believes in. And I've seen some crazy pictures. So this one Twitter account kind of grabbed a couple of screen caps of, what people are tweeting about Alyssa Liu. Where people are just completely creating wrong tweets, like false quotes of her being like anti-LGBTQ. This one says American figure skater Alyssa Liu addresses backlash over removal of pro-pronouns, pro-LGBTQ posts from social media. I was a kid. I don't believe in that stuff anymore. This was just like not a thing that happened or in any way in any capacity, and it has like 116,000 likes. Now I'm assuming a bunch of those are botted likes. Elon Musk's Twitter is obviously the biggest shit show of all time. But like, what are we doing? Like, that's just not what. How are we making up fake quotes for like what is she saying? And this person also like pulled another tweet too, which is another one is Olympic gold medal figure skater Alyssa Liu responds to transphobic allegations. I don't hate trans people. I just feel sorry for them. Like, she didn't say this in any way, in any capacity. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Now, obviously, this one didn't have as much, motion, but this is like a verified account with some sort of like branding with it too, brand connection with it. That's just making up false shit, making up wrong quotes, and just making stuff up for some reason. And like, why are they making like their own mental headcanons about like what they want her to say and what they want her to believe in? Like, it doesn't make any sense on what the fuck they're doing here. Now, obviously, I've seen some more of them, but I'm not gonna really show this one because it is just absolutely terrible. There is a image that I've seen going around where it is Alyssa Liu skating, and then it's like with a swastika in the background. Like, for some reason, they're trying to claim that, Alyssa Liu is a Nazi and she's holding up their Nazi values or some shit, which doesn't make any sense in any capacity. What the fuck are you doing? I'm assuming there has to be some sort of grounds of like you can sue for defamation or slander, because if someone puts me, having like one of the best performances of my life, one of the highest moments of my life, with a swastika on the background, and trying to be like, yes, this is the values that we want. These are the Nazi values that we want. Look at this ice skater go. I'm gonna check the law. I'm gonna see, hey, can I sue you for defamation or slander? Because like, what the fuck do you mean you're trying to say that I'm a Nazi when like she just doesn't believe in any like of this stuff in any capacity in any way? And so like, obviously with all this stupid and really dumb and really idiotic discourse going around Alyssa Liu and what she actually believes, what she truly believes is kind of very obvious and very easy to find out. And if you don't have two brain cells in your brain firing off and fighting for attention, you'd actually be able to figure out what she believes in. Like, a big one right here is obviously she supports immigrants. Shocker. Crazy that someone who comes from a family of immigrants thinks immigrants deserve rights. And even though like obviously this quote, very easy to interpret what she's talking about, it's kind of a PR train one, but it also makes sense in the fact that like she's saying immigrants deserve immigrant rights. Shocker. You wouldn't believe it. The crazy thing is that, like, you see this comment right here: legal immigrants are illegal, or both. People are trying to like say that she didn't mean illegal immigrants, and she only mean the true ethical people of society, the legal immigrants. But like, I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna go out on a shot and say that she's including everyone, no matter what of their legal status. It's not like she's going on and saying, oh, those motherfuckers that kill people, those are really good people. Like, no, the people who are trying to come to the country to get a better life, and they just do it, happen to not go through all the 10-year-long documentation process that it takes to get a green card in the United States, and rather just like, they deserve rights as they're human beings. They're trying to get a better life and follow the American dream. And that's kind of like the sentiment behind it. But these people are saying like, oh, no. She would ever say that illegal immigrants deserve rights. She actually only means, legal immigrants. And that's what she was saying right here. Because they have to just find some way to uphold their fantasyland idea of what she is and like who she is as a person and what she believes in. And like another thing that's been floating around about her is that she, was participating in the pro-Palestine protests at UCLA. And so that's another thing that like you can kind of get an idea of where she lies on this whole discourse of the political spectrum of where she may sit. And there's like one more thing that makes it very obvious about like what she believes in. There was a TikTok post, I think it was either her or she reposted it. Either way, where the caption was, of her and I think Amber Glenn holding up their medals and saying like they hate to see two woke bitches win or something like that. And so like people are trying to just have this fantasy land whack like and just completely nonsensical beliefs of like what she believes in because she simply won gold for the United States and just absolutely losing their mind, like just being insane about their own like I guess headcanons that they want to impose on her because they simply just like go fucking ape mode when they see someone win for the United States. And so like I just wanted to talk about this again because it was kind of just like unfortunately I was correct in my prediction of saying that the wrong people are going to celebrate this. Hopefully, this is the last time to talk about this tomfoolery because this is just like such a shit show and a stupid entire scenario. And so like I mean it's just tough that she has to have this entire tomfoolery surrounding her about people trying to make her, I guess, like a Nazi or some shit. It kind of doesn't really make any sense about what they're doing. But then again, that's my fault for expecting any sense to come out of anything anymore in any way on social media and online and in the world because, life has happened. And that's my fault as a person for thinking that people would be normal. But that's really not the case. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.